Yeah, so yeah, they're dropping out of it because of their schedule conflicts. I don't. If it seems like a lot school-wise, you can always decide to.
Okay.
So it's not like you guys are in danger of not having enough credits. I mean.
Yeah.
And you're juniors, so you could take like, I don't know, could you hop into the second semester of this next year? I don't know. So.
I already got all my
Could I
credits.
just like not have a class during third period? Like just drop both.
Well, you'd have to drop both of them. So. Right.
What if I drop one, then I decide I wanted to do the other one, so I drop that, and then I can join?
Thanks for being difficult. All right. So I actually pulled this example from when we did geometry. So you're like, I've never heard about glutes before. You might have because because they're kind of gibberish, but the fact that they're gibberish or like things that don't actually exist is good because it makes us think about, does the statement actually work or not? So it says, if it's a wimboard, then it's a glute. If it's a zeppy, then it's a wimboard. This is one of those you probably want to do some rearranging. So Lulu is not a glute. Therefore, Lulu is not a zeppy. So they want us to say which law, and then is it valid or invalid? Oh, so if it's valid, they want you to say which law.
Where's Lulu? Who's Lulu?
So it's saying it. So like Lulu is the it.
Okay.
So Lulu is the person or thing or whatever.
It's indirect.
Did you guys think of that first two statements in another way? What could we say? How could I rewrite those first couple statements another way? If what, then?
If it is zeppy, then it's glue.
Yeah, so if zeppy, then glue. So this one kind of is actually probably more than one rule. So what we just did there, that's that law of detachment. So to be able to say if it's a zeppy, then it's a glute, that's law of detachment. So it's kind of two rules in one. But we're saying Lulu is not a glute. Then Lulu is not a zeppy. What's the rule for that? So that one technically is indirect, but we did kind of use law of detachment to get there, so this one's kind of a little bit tricky that way. So I'd probably say it's detachment, then indirect, but it is a valid conclusion. Because if she's not a glute, then she can't be all the other things. So you could say detachment, and then indirect. You want to open it? I closed it just because we were being loud during the Kahoot. You can open it if you want. Just get some careful. Yeah, you can go ahead. All right. All right. If a state was one of the 13 original colonies, then it was settled by the Europeans prior to 1776. Oh my gosh, she's bringing in history. California was settled by the Spanish in 1769. Therefore, California was one of the 5 original
13?
One of the original 13 colonies. I don't know what I'm talking about. 5. I don't know where 5 even came from. All right. What do you guys think? Invalid. What's wrong with it?
California was.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard sometimes when you like know something about it, you're like, I know California is not one of the original 13 colonies. They're all on the East Coast. So since this is not like the state is not one of the original 13 colonies, we don't know that, or we know that it's not true. So this is an invalid conclusion. And it doesn't fit into any of our laws because they're not saying not anywhere, and they're not like saying that this is true first, so therefore the other part works. So this is just kind of a strange one. It doesn't work out. So sometimes it looks like things should work, and then it doesn't really. Now, they could also use something that's not in an if-then form, but technically it can be written that way. What goes up must come down is a common saying. A rocket goes up, therefore the rocket must come down. I think valid. What rule then? Yeah, so I think it's just that, it's that first one, right, detachment? That, basically the first thing is true. A rocket goes up, therefore a rocket must come down because of the fact that that's what that statement says. Now we're not looking for like special cases or what if the rocket got blown up while it was in space and it disintegrated. We're not trying to like be weird and do anything like that. Oh, actually now that I say that, I realize up here I did the first rule wrong. Anyone want to stop me there? No? It wasn't detachment, then indirect. What was the first? Transitivity, sorry. All of a sudden, once I wrote detachment, I'm like, I knew I did one transitivity. Sorry. I could blame the painkillers, but I'm not on any, so it's just me. It's just my own. All right. Any questions? All right, we're done extra early, so we have time to work.
I think we should wait for another 10 minutes than work for 30 minutes.
I appreciate you enjoying Would You Rather, but let's wait for another day, maybe tomorrow.
What is really
40.
40?
Yeah.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get your homework done, and then if you have